this is the future, they see the future. But we used to do that, and we did a lot of mistakes because we did do a lot of study and research about what is actually our customer want from our products. So big data will be one of the things that can help you to find out, what actually the user want from your product, from your unique selling point. So I'll share some of what big data can do for your business, for your product development. So this is some of the examples that how we use big data apply into our business and our client business, right? Because we are a digital agency, so our clients are from different industries, from banking industry, beauty industry, FMCG, F&B, food and beverages. So we help them to run the big data analytics of digital marketing. So example one of these features is to find out the performance and hashtag over 90 days, right? So you look at it, nothing. So I also can do it. I also can find what is the latest popular hashtag. But when you put all these popular hashtags together in one industry, I can't tell who is the client. It's the biggest cake shop in Malaysia. So you can find out who's the biggest cake shop. So they want to know what type of coffee is the next trend, right? Because having more than 400 outlets, restaurants, or cafe, if you lose the trend, you lose half of the shop. It's very dangerous. So they need to know, like next quarter, is Korean coffee coming to Malaysia, or is the hype of Taiwanese coffee coming to Malaysia? They want to know. So we run this we pinpoint like 4 or 5 countries, and then we run all the hashtags. We find out what is the trend of the hashtag. So for example, you can see the highest line is the coffee time. Coffee time hashtag is going down, while the purple color, the coffee of the day, is going up. So you can see, if imagine you put in the coffee type, you will see that, okay, the coffee, this type of coffee is going up, that type of coffee is going up. So they can readjust their strategy immediately without waiting for every 6 months only they do. Because social media is moving very fast. So you must have a listening platform that help you to analyze and crawl the data on a daily basis. So this is another example of how you can study a competitor or a brand profile without having any access. So because social media is a public platform, as long as you don't get the data like birth date, email address, full name, you are fine. You are not violating any personal data. But all these data are considered public data because they fall under, like Facebook pages is fall under public data, business profile page is fall under public data. All these data you can use it. It's not belong to Facebook, it's not belong to the brand, it's belong to everyone else, right? So you can get this raw data to generate the insights. So like studying KOL, influential marketing is another hot topic that you can actually use the big data analytics to analyze the influential, who is more suitable to promote your product or promote your brand. Brand sentiment. Brand sentiment is very interesting. Like imagine KFC, you have 1 million of messages and comments, but you can't just hire 30 or 50 people to run through every single message of the 1 million messages just to find out which one is good or bad. So by using the powerful big data platform that in 3 seconds you can analyze 1 million of the messages and you can find out how happy is them, how surprised, how excited, or how disappointed about which product. So this will help you to save your time and the cost and give you more accurate information. Yeah, this is the sample that I was talking about. Like you can see the yellow line, the cold brew is going down. The orange one is slightly going up, the nitro coffee. So I don't know what is nitro coffee. I'm a coffee person, but I only drink espresso or latte. But I never tried nitro coffee before. Sparkling coffee I also never tried before. So there's so many coffee available in the world. But doing this and looking at this graph, you can simply understand that which coffee trend is going down, which coffee trend is going up. Because it's as simple as basic as when the end user they posted about one photo and let's say they try nitro coffee. and we go and crawl over the time to see how many users using the hashtag over the time, over the period of time. So from there you can see that trend is going up because people are using it more often. It's as simple as that, the mathematical calculations. So, but most of people they ignore this. They didn't realize that actually they can use this to find what is the next trend. So it can apply in fashion world, it can apply in finance, it can apply in insurance, and many things. This is another one very powerful feature, which you can use the ad detections to analyze the advertising spending of your competitor or other brands. Right? So, example, I want to do a research about, I want to create a new revolutionary idea business model. I want to change fashion world. So first, you need to find out how much money they spend in marketing in fashion industry. So let's say we go and crawl Zara, we crawl H&M, we crawl Uniqlo, we crawl brand outlets. So we find out all these brands, how much they spend in the last 2 years. Every month, every quarter, how much they spend. So for an example, when we do the analysis for Telco, we realize that DG, they spend most of their budget on September. Why is that? Then we go and crawl what's happening on September within their brand. It's actually launching of iPhone. So every year when they launch a new iPhone, they put a lot of budget. DG will put a lot of budget to promote in that particular month about iPhone promotion. So for Starbucks, they spend most of their money on Hari Raya months. So their Raya month, they will boost a lot of budget to promote about their Raya campaigns, the Raya promotions, the Raya Tumblr, the Raya videos. So different brands, they have different strategies. So this will help entrepreneurs, startups, SME, or MNC to understand how digital marketing works. Because digital marketing is becoming, or maybe it's already a mainstream media platform. So this is very good because last time, 20 years ago, when we were still using TV and newspaper, we don't have all this data. But right now, digital, we can know what everyone else is doing. There's no secrets. Everything is open and transparent. It's whether you want to take it or somebody will take it and they will use it against you, right? Because digital is very competitive. Everyone is very aggressive and very creative. So that is the part one, data. So when we come to part two, content, people think that content is something very creative. I'm not a creative person. I cannot do design. I cannot talk about marketing idea. But actually, this is not the right mindset because every creativity is actually come from different successful creativity. It's a combination of past creativity. For an example, Steve Jobs' iPhone is not from Steve Jobs. It's actually inspired from Microsoft tablet. They saw Microsoft have this tablet, very innovative, but they cannot execute a good tablet. So Steve Jobs, go back to Apple, he told the team, let's create a better iPad. Then from iPad, it inspired another iPhone. So what I'm trying to say is, creative is not born with you. It's when you see more things, more data, it will help you to get a more accurate creative idea for your customer. So you cannot just copy Adidas idea and then apply to your brand. Because Adidas is Adidas, they are big. So when someone is as big as Adidas, whatever idea they use, they just say nothing is impossible, then they have become famous already. But when you're nothing, you're just started, you say nothing is impossible, no one will listen to you. So this world is as real as it is. So talk about content. So today I'm going to share with you a strategy that we've been using for 6 years since day one. We've been using this content hub strategy. We were surprised when we talked to most of the big companies. They didn't realize about this. They know the importance, but they never really go and do it. So I think it's a good thing that I will keep sharing until Malaysia is really growing to a more mature digital marketing country. Content hub strategy is actually building your base, your home. Okay, for most of the startup entrepreneurs, I think they know it very well, but not if some of you are professionals, you are the top management of the company, maybe this is more suitable for you. So every time when we want to do a marketing campaigns. They just say, we have a Facebook page, we have 15 million fans, so let's do it on Facebook. It's actually not really a good answer for that. Because Facebook it doesn't belong to you. Facebook is belong to Mark Zuckerberg, right? So in one way they ban you, or they just kick you out, or they change the algorithm that organic fans cannot reach you. You have to boost posts, you have to pay money for it. Then you're losing your outreach. So that's why we think that the best way is always build your content hub first, which is it can be product microsite, it can be your company website that 100% belong to you, that you control every single coding and data of that thing. So build that hub first. No matter you want to launch a new product, you want to launch a marketing campaign, then only we do the brand content creations. Then only we go to the social media platforms, advertising channels, and make sure everything is trackable. Track every single data that flowing through your content hub. And convert that into sales or leads or registrations or whatever is your final result. And the last step is the most important thing. Having a content hub is not just only the data warehouse. If you have imagine you have a warehouse, you put all your furniture, everything in your garage warehouse, and then you leave it there for 3 years. 3 years later, you go, what will happen? A lot of dust, spider webs, and it's very messy, very dusty. So, reviewing your campaign, your marketing campaign, every single time when it ends is very important because you need to analyze the data, you have to know what the customer is thinking. Are you doing the right conversion rate comparing to the previous campaign or not? So, to do this, you need to have your own content hub. If everything you are doing it just relying on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, there's so limit of the data. There's limitations of the data that you can get to review. So this is the strategy that we want to emphasize, that we all should focus on building our content hub instead of relying on other social platforms just because they are free. And part 3, the performance. Okay. Performance marketing sounds very technical. It is a little bit technical because it's involving mathematics, calculations, but it's actually very simple because there's a lot of free Excel templates available online that you just need to plug in the number and they will help you to calculate. So for e-commerce person, they will know what is RAS. Okay. For digital marketers, they will know what is cost per acquisition. So for business person, they want to know what is the conversion rate. Okay, I invest 1 million, did I get back 2 million? So as simple as that is in performance marketing. It's not it is a rocket science. It requires a lot of manpower just to build a good momentum of performance marketing. You cannot expect that you do it for 1 week, the performance will be good. For an example, when we helped one of the top luxury skincare beauty brand 4 years ago, the cost per acquisition, because their final result is leads, they want people to go to their outpost. For example, they're having Central Court, big campaign in Pavilion. So they want people to visit their Pavilion store. And that time the cost per lead is about 50 ringgit. They want people to visit the store is about 50 ringgit. 4 years later, when we keep the momentum for 4 years, right now the cost of acquisition is only 2 ringgit. We reduce 25 times. So it's not an overnight thing, it's a long hour. It's like building a rocket, you need like 300 people, 300 scientists building for a decade, then only you can get a rocket flying to the moon. So this is what about performance marketing. This is a very old sales funnel. You can take a picture if you want. This was available like 10, 15 years ago. When we're still not using Friendster, we're still using ICQ and MSN. This is the performance marketing 10, 15 years ago. Very straightforward. You can see that it started as awareness, considerations, engagement, and then finally conversion. Today it's not as simple as that really. We have all things. We have influential, which is just got popular last year. actually last 3 years in USA. Now the trend is coming to Asia already. So we have influencer marketing, we have Instagram marketing, we have LinkedIn marketing, we have Twitter, we have WeChat, we have TikTok. Last quarter, it doesn't become popular. Some companies start using TikTok. Anyone don't know what is TikTok? Or anyone know what is TikTok? Okay, good. You guys are very trendy, modern. Okay, TikTok is there's one subsidiary app from Twitter under Twitter, but they closed it already. I forgot the name. It's green color. But it's actually a short video clip social networking apps. Okay, so you just need to record some funny parody of yourself doing some stupid things in 5 seconds to 15 seconds. Publish it in the apps, then hopefully you'll become popular. So this is what TikTok is doing. Okay, in China, you have Meitai, you have so many things, right? So it's like an evolution from Snapchat. So it's getting more and more popular. They can generate billions of hours of minutes, video minutes every day. It's very crazy because this is what Gen Z is talking about. When we talk about Gen Z today, they are graduating. So we all like very old already. Last time when we talk about Gen Z, they still baby boy. Today Gen Z is graduating, they are degree already. So we need to understand what Gen Z is doing. Later I'll share a bit info about Gen Z based on the data analytics and lead. So back to the performance marketing. Just now I was sharing about the whole sales funnel. So today I want to share with you some of the methodology that we use to apply in our clients. So in 3-step synergy framework, why we talk about synergy? Can you use your 2 hands to calculate as how many platforms, marketing platforms that you can use? It's more than 10, right? So you can't even calculate it by using your 2 hands already. So we need to do some synergy. If not, you're wasting most of your resources and your efforts. Step 1, enable. What is enable? Big data, content hub. You need to build your base, you need to build a warehouse that you can collect all the data sources. Empower, which is to empower your brand by doing branding, content marketing, strategy. And the last part, enrich, as the word definition, enriching your brand in the long term, in the long run. So, like I said, content marketing and performance marketing are yin and yang. So, a beautiful content is a good content without a good performance plan. People see it, people like it, people don't see it because they never do any performance plan. So, a good performance plan without a good creative, people see it, people don't like it. So, it's like yin and yang, you cannot just cut up. Oh, I don't have budget, let's not do the video. Or I don't have that much budget, let's cut the budget on the advertising. So this is what it will cost you more when you're trying to cut the budget on one of the sites. So what I'm trying to say is always start from the enable part. Always start the enable part, enable your big data, enable you have e-commerce, enable your brand to have your CRM or your content hub. Then only you do a technical campaign to launch your marketing, to launch your content marketing. Then the last step is always reviewing your digital strategy. You can do it every end of the week, every end of the month, every end of the quarter. Okay, this is very important. So a one-time enable, you only do it for one time. Empower, you have to do it like once a while, every quarter, or maybe during Hari Raya or seasoning campaign. Enrich is a long run thing. You have to do it on a daily basis, every day, maybe every hour. If you have to check, monitor the pricing, what is your sales, what is your traffic. Like example for my friend Volkswagen, recently very popular. So how they can handle like 50,000 of the leads in 1 or 2 weeks time. So they have to enable the big data analytics. They have to know every data flowing from Facebook, are they flowing from Instagram, or some of them are because of the word of mouth. So they have a young team doing that. They don't have many people. They don't have 13 to 14 people right now. and they enable the AI chatbot to handle all the leads that is sending a message on their Oxwhite.com website. So if they didn't enable the big data part, they don't know that how many sales actually coming in. So this is very, very important. These three steps we always use to implement in most of our clients, whether they are startup, SMEs, or MNC. So to make up this simple flow for you to understand how it actually works. Data-driven marketing strategy, which we use this to apply in all kinds of projects. So step one. So step one is always to collect and federate all the data from social media, call center, your on-ground store, your mobile apps, or your websites. Step two is to analyze and get the insights. Right? What is the customer behavior? What is their gender? What phone they are using? So for another one good example, how we actually study the customer behavior. So I think most of you already know what is Google Analytics. So Google Analytics that you can tell what are the devices, technology that your users are using. So most of the website, 80% of the traffic is actually coming from mobile. So for one of another clients, it's a lot of luxury cosmetic. You want to aim rich people, okay? Rich women. They are selling like 3,000 ringgit a skin cream, which is crazy. So we know our audience, they want to target people who use Huawei, Mate, P10, or iPhone 8 and above. So we did a campaign that we only target and retarget all these specific device users. And then we check with our backend data that we make sure that every data flow-in mostly are using iPhone 10, iPhone 8 and above. So it became a huge hit because most of the people who queue in the store are actually the target audience that they want. So knowing your customer behavior is not like, within like or comments. It's not that simple, but knowing, example, what phone I'm using, or am I using, what broadband I'm using, or like how long I used to visit your website, the duration that I stay in your website, like 15 seconds or 2 minutes. So all these are considered customer behavior that you should look into. Step 3 is actually to start executing your marketing campaigns and then to optimize until you hit your KPI. And step 4 is to execute. Execute means to collect back all the data that you have run. Final result, you have to review it and then turn it back to the step 1, which is to federate and collect data. So step 1, federate and collect data. Step 2, analyze. Step 3, actions. Step 4, execute and deliver. So it looks like an infinite funnel. So it's a funnel that you would like to do it like every day, keep repeating until you get a better result. So like I said, there is no best result on digital marketing or businesses. There's always a better result, a better cost per acquisition, a better conversion rate. So this is what you can refer some of our methodology, how we use this synergy framework and apply it to business and marketing campaign. So another process that we want to share, more simple process, level stage and power stage and entry stage. So it's a very straightforward flow that we use it when we want to do a product launching. So we believe that most of the startup they sure have a product, but how to launch a good campaign to talk about your product, you can refer to this. Okay, step 1 is always doing analysis against your competitor. That's impossible. Today, that's impossible that you don't have competitors. It's either direct competitor or indirect competitors. That shows someone else is doing a similar concept like what you're doing. Right? So doing analysis, knowing how much they spend, what is their strategy for their content branding. Then only you do your right, do your empower stage, do your marketing campaigns and maximize the performance, knowing the right metrics that you want to track. Like on social media, it's all the CTR, impressions, and engagement. And then for the sales metrics, it's the cost per lead. Cost per lead is for, if you are in B2B, cost per lead is one of the most important metrics for you. If you are doing, if your objective is for PR outreach, then cost per engagement is one of the most important metrics. EMV as well, earned media value. And then conversion rate is for e-commerce. Okay. So one of the examples that we did for our clients, the data-driven marketing campaigns that help us to win the Gold Award. So we did created a very fun and casual game. It's actually a mobile game by using web technology. So it's not an app game, it's a HTML5 website game on mobile. So, and our target audience is female only. Yeah, so listen carefully, the target female gamers only. So it's quite difficult. But you know, our team and our client decided to give it a try. So we created a game microsite. We set up the database on our cloud server. And then we set up a real-time reporting dashboard as well. So this is step one. Our enable part, we set up the cloud server to process 3 different sets of data. Then the step 2, empower part. So we promote it on all the social medias, the on-ground events, because they have events in Summer Pyramid, Paddington, Mid Valley, Wakotama. So the game is actually synchronized through online and offline. It's actually the same game, but online they can just tap on Facebook or Instagram, then they can start to play the game. For on-ground, they just go there and then they just stand in front of the TV. They can just control the TV. So it's actually a lead motion. We're using Korean technology from Kickstarter to apply this game. Step 3 is the empower part. So player will play from different devices, from mobile, from desktop, from lead motions. And step 4, sending back the results and the database back to the cloud servers. So all these have to run it real time, that we're able to know how long users spend on playing the game, how frequent they play. Like if they game over, they cannot get a high score, they keep playing. So in the end of the result, we're able to, I think we brought because when we look at one of the champion campaigns that they created a web game, which is our competitor. I can't say the competitor name, but when I studied them, they say they broke the record. They got 19,000 of female playing games. So our record is double of them, more than double. It's 40 to 42,000 female playing games. So that game won their attention and they're able to convert into leads. So imagine just 10 to 50% of the 40,000 actually convert into new customer sales. This is a very good for them because it's a new product launching. And all this you have to do it like every day. You have to analyze what is the performance, how many people play, what is the feedback about the game, so you can change it because it's a web thing. It's not like a physical game console. So you can always patch the new versions to make your game more smooth, make your performance better. And the last part is actually to analyze the data. Right, so this is 3 parts: data, content, and performance. 3 parts that we, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a marketing person, you have to learn about all these 3. I used to be a programmer, just a very basic coders. I have to learn design, I have to learn copywriting, I have to learn sales and marketing. So just some tips from entrepreneur myself that you can't just, I want to focus on product, then I hire a marketing person to run my company. It's a no-no for entrepreneur. So as an entrepreneur, you have to learn everything. It can be as basic as just a concept. At least you know what is happening. You understand the reports, you understand the concept, then it's fine. So today, just to share with you, so you know the concept of how to really run a very successful data and digital marketing campaign, which is the data, content, performance, And the synergy part is the enable, empower, and reach. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Gen Z. We still have some time. 5 minutes. Okay, I'll quickly run through these slides. Maybe later can share the link for them to download. Gen Z, because we find it very, very important, and we want to share with everyone as possible, because it's coming very, very soon. So what is Gen Z? For the past decades, millennials, or commonly known as Gen Y, I'm Gen Y, has always been transcending the generation and the primary focus of most business or company. But something happened over time. We all grow old already. So now the Gen Z is the next limelight. They are the biggest market. In 2020, which is next year, Gen Z will be accounting 40% of all the customers. So as soon as you target the Gen Z, the better for your business. So you don't go and aim, I don't know, but if you have a product or a new technology is coming, trying to target the Gen Z. Because this Gen Z, they don't actually believe all the marketing bullshit that they do. They're very smart in knowing what they want. And they only trust to believe what they believe. So the sooner you can be able to target the Gen Z, like I say, they not play TikTok, so maybe you need to download the TikTok and see what they are doing. Because Gen Z will be the new brain of the customer that can help your business to grow. Remember, next year, 40% of the customers is actually coming from Gen Z. So thanks to the mobile technology, Gen Z has a smartphone in their pockets and able to stay online constantly, every day. So average of Gen Z, they spend 4 hours or 5 hours every day on smartphone. So you see the device trend of the Gen Z, 96% is on smartphone, only 75% on PC and laptop, 30% on tablet, 24% on smart TV. So you see the difference between us. When we talk about TV, they talk about smart TV. So if you give them a box of TV, they don't watch it. They only watch smart TV because they want Netflix. They don't watch TV2, TV3, they watch Netflix. And games console as well. Game console is not limited to PS3, PS4, but also the Nintendo, that kind of handheld consoles. So smartphone is the center of Gen Z life. And the top social media platform of Gen Z, is YouTube, Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and LinkedIn. Communicating with Gen Z on social media. Some of the tips, you need to act quick and stay relevant to their trend. This is very hard. Even to me, I also a bit hard to understand what they are thinking. So our team average of 30 people, they are all at age of 24 to 26. So they are considered like between Gen Z and Gen Y. So they still can understand what they can translate what is the trend to the marketing team. So I believe that most of the company, even MNC, they start hiring the new Gen Z who just graduated to become their marketing exec. So this is very important. So although you believe that their work attitude is not as good as Gen Y, but they have their way of thinking, and sometimes they can solve problems in a very creative way. This is a fact that we can't deny. And with mobile really, everything has to be mobile centric. So ask yourself or ask your friends who work as a marketer. Most of the time when they want to create a web, they always start from desktop web. But the way we do is, obviously, we start from mobile web, then only we expand to desktop. Because mobile is our primary focus. 92% of the users is always using mobile as a primary device. Explore more multiple social media platforms. Don't always think Facebook is the king. So even a king, you need a soldier, you need a general. So always diversify into different social platforms. Include social media influencers. This is very important. They no longer following person like Michael Jackson, Jay Chou, they follow influencers who are more relevant to what they like to see. Example, I like cakes, or I like drawing. So I will focus on doing very, very good at what they are doing on Instagram. So they have, let's say, 300,000 followers. Every day he will post a photo about how they make the cake more creative. So this is their idol. You know, most of the Gen Z they follow this type of person. Some like I remember my cousin is only like 8 years old. He said his future is he want to become a YouTuber. Last time when I fill out my form, I say I want to become a bomba, I want to become policeman, I want to become doctor and lawyer. I don't know why, but everyone else is writing the same answer. Now you ask the kids, they want to become YouTuber. I want to become YouTuber playing games, how to play the Lego games. And they watch a robot on YouTube every day, and they are so happy about it. And then the idol make a lot of money just doing the video because they generate more video views. YouTube will pay them money, 70% profit sharing. So always include social media influencers in your marketing campaign. And always use big data to understand Gen Z. And yeah, that's all. Because time's up, I can't explain more details. But because I promised the organizer that if you want to have a taste of big data, you can just sign up for free. Send us the email that you know about us from Magic. We will give you a premium account for free for 1 month. So me and my colleagues will be behind. So if you have any more questions about data or marketing, you can look for us. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
So next, let's move on to the second speaker, Mr. Sheffield. Please welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Irfan. It was a very interesting presentation by the fellow speaker, Mr. Gates. So I hope I can do just as good, if not better. So when you are a startup and you are just starting out, you may not have a big social network, especially if you are young maybe, and you may find it hard to raise funding. You will find it hard to attract competent team members, whether it's employees, whether it's partners, right? So what I want to talk about is very related to what the previous speaker spoke about, but I intentionally chose a topic which will hopefully sound a bit different and hopefully make it more interesting and retain the attention of millennials and Gen Z and all that. I hope so. Okay. So, table of contents, I will tell you a bit about myself. I will tell you what a brand is, right? Not a personal brand, but just a brand. I will share some statistics. Then we will talk about what a personal brand is, why your personal brand is already there. Even if you don't believe in personal branding, even if you feel like it's something like a show off or being very in your face type of marketing, which I don't think it is, your brand is still there. And we will talk about that. Okay? We will talk about its benefits. And I have a couple of examples, actually 3 examples of how a great personal brand can help grow a startup. Okay, or even help it when it's a big company, when it becomes a big company like Apple or Tesla or the Virgin Group. We will talk about the personal branding pyramid, which will show you what are the fundamentals, and it will show you what are some of the tools and tactics which are mostly dependent on various facets of digital marketing. The reason to focus on digital here, in terms of helping you grow your personal brand, is because it's not going to cost you much in terms of money. All it will cost you is the amount of time that you invest in it and the interest that you take in it. And there is a lot of benefits that you can do that. Okay? Everyone with me so far? Okay, great. We will discuss a couple of case studies. One is of a SaaS software as a service startup. Another one is a more, I would say, basic level case study, but I think it's still very interesting. We will talk about some of the steps you can take to build and grow your personal brand online and how to use that to attract opportunities to you. Okay? So when I say attract opportunities, I'm talking about how you can have your ideal customer, your ideal partners, and even funding offers come to you rather than you chasing them. Okay? So if you get a phone call from a salesman, you are probably already bored and disinterested because they reached out to you. But if you are reaching out to them, you're already in the state of mind to buy that phone, get that car, right? So half of this job is already done. So it's kind of the same mindset, but in a more innovative manner where you share information, okay, whether it's via speaking, whether it's via podcasting or something else, in order to build trust, okay, with your target audience, in order to earn the attention and in order to build credibility, okay. If an investor or a potential team member or a potential partner in company already knows who you are and they trust in your personal brand and they trust in your reputation, then half of your job is already done. Okay? Because trust, no matter how great your startup is, no matter how great the coding is, whether it's AI or blockchain or Internet of Things or fintech or whatever, the person who may be investing in you or working with you, they want to know about you first, how you are as a person. Can he trust you? Can he work with you? Right? So that's very important, the human element, the soft skills. Okay? Nothing against the technical skills. I have been a bit of a programmer myself. So that's very interesting. But the human side of the things is very important, which I think a lot of the times tech entrepreneurs lose sight of. Okay? Okay, so I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have ran a startup previously. Right now, I run a marketing agency, and we have been running that since 2013. I also write for Forbes, World Bank, Huffington Post, SEMrush, and a lot of other publications. And I have also been mentioned in publications like Entrepreneur, Virgin Startups, and others. Since the topic was personality, so that's me from about 10 years ago when I was studying in Sweden and later on working in Sweden and then in Denmark. I also do some international speaking here and there, and that's also been going on since 2013. And I also host the SIA Business Podcast. Okay. So branding, what do you think is? How do you think branding started? Like, where does this word come from? It's not on the slide, so don't look at that. How did the word brand started? What was the origins? Anyone? Okay, I will give you a hint. It has to do with animals, cattle. No? Okay, I will tell you. So long ago, hundreds of years ago, when there may not have been a lot of industries, okay, and maybe it's still going on, the practice of branding. So I have my cattle and Gaines has his own cattle, right? So how do we make sure that I don't take his goat and he doesn't take my cow? We brand them. Okay, how do we brand them? We brand them with a hot metal rod or something like that. So I write mine, on mine I write, just S or something, not the full name, so I don't hurt the animal much, and he writes G or Repto or something. So that's where the word branding comes from. I know it sounds painful now and cruel now, but that was how people used to, there was no technology and no other solution. People wanted to make sure that their assets, their livestock is distinguishable from the other person's livestock. Okay? So you want to make your stuff unique. So it's easy to make sure that you are taking your stuff and not someone else. Okay? So that's how it started. Now, in the 1950s, the problem that started was that there were too many products, soaps and shampoos and shoes, but they look similar. So that was the problem, because how do you make your product unique? How do you make it different? So the brand managers at P&G, General Foods, Unilever, what they did was they started to give their products unique packaging, some kind of slogans. They attached some kind of values with it. Okay? they gave it some kind of a value, right? Not just a functional value, but some kind of emotions. So any human being who feels the same emotion can associate with that product. Okay? Everyone with me so far? Okay, great. So that's how branding started. Now, here is a definition where basically Jay Bayer is saying that it's making sure that what people think about your product is what you want them to think about your product. Okay, so if you are an Apple within your industry, an Apple company, okay, similar to Apple, you want to make sure that the users don't see your product as a cheap product. Okay, what has Apple done? They have branded their product in a sense that they have made sure that the users can perceive it as a luxury product in a sense, to some extent, right? You associate it with good aesthetics, high quality and all that. And that's why you are okay with paying a bit more for that, right? Okay? So, I mean, this is why when Apple is releasing a new product, they have people coming up, setting up camps even, right? I don't know if it happens in Malaysia, but in the States, and I've seen it in Dubai as well, that they would set up camps from the night before, right? To make sure that they get that new iPhone or iPad or whatever. That's the power of brand, and we will talk about how you can use the same power to make your target audience be interested in your personality, your persona, your personal brand. Okay? We are going to skip some slides because we don't have much time. But here's one. So why branding? I mean, so when you have a brand message, if I work at Apple and I'm posting a message from Apple's Facebook page, and I also post it from my own Facebook page, the one that I post from my page, a personal page, it gets 24 times more shares. You see? So because we as human beings, we are social animals. We want to associate with other human beings. Okay, what's a company? It's faceless, right? It doesn't seem to have a soul. It doesn't laugh. It doesn't cry. So we are social. So that's one reason. Jeff Bezos, here's a very good definition which I really like, is that branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Okay? So, I mean, that's how I see it as well. Because even if you say, oh, I don't believe in personal branding, or, it's for marketers, or it's for salespeople, the thing is you already have a personal brand. Now, it's up to you whether you want to leave it as it is, because it may be an inaccurate interpretation of your qualities and your skills, or do you want to work on your personal brand to make sure that what people think of you, your skills, the values that you offer are accurate. So like I said, you already have a personal brand, and I mean today is the age of digital media, right? So anyone who wants to maybe work with you, they can easily Google you and find you. So your brand is there. If like I had to hire someone for our agency, and when I Googled him, I found like some some negative stuff. I'm not going to go into the details. But the thing is, if that's his life, that's fine. But then don't make your Facebook profile public. Share it in your private stuff. You don't want to put it out there because it doesn't make a good impression, right? So benefits. What are the benefits? It's about being the best version of yourself, and we will talk a bit more about that later on when we are talking about a concept called Ikigai, which is a Japanese concept. It helps you boost your confidence because the values that you associate with yourself, the skills that you want to be known for and recognized for, you work on them, right? You improve and you get the word out about it, about your skills, about your knowledge. So that's how you get more confidence. And like I said earlier, you build credibility. You become an authority. You get to be seen as an expert, an influencer, and a thought leader within your space, right? So like for instance, Steve Jobs, we didn't love him just because he made great products. I mean, he was not even the actual creator. course, other engineers and all that, but he had his vision there, right? He had his vision and the thoughts that he would share, the vision that he would share, that was so interesting that people would, come to the keynotes that we're going to talk about. So I mean, Steve Jobs was very popular for one reason. Where when he would do his keynotes, and they would invite all the geeks and the programmers, which were like their primary, army in the sense of promoters. Those geeks and coders and creative people would come to those keynotes where Steve Jobs would be presenting a new product, and those people would then get out in the market and they would tell others about that product, right? So that's how they did it really well. So Elon Musk, I mean, apart from sending his car to space, what he was really good at and still is not only just sharing information, but employing the tool of Twitter, right? He's very good at Twitter, he has a great following, he continues to share ideas, he's humorous when he needs to be. I have even read stories of him doing business via Twitter, which is kind of a bit crazy. Now, that's, sorry for the typos in this slide, by the way. So that's Virgin's founder. It has a distinction of creating 8 companies which crossed the $1 billion mark. The total number of companies is much more, but 8 of his companies which he created under the Virgin Group, they got more than $1 billion. You just imagine that. And his personality is an important part of that journey. I mean, he still does like crazy stuff. Like sometimes when he had a new Virgin flight or something, he dressed as an air hostess and brought refreshments to the passengers. And here you can see that when they were celebrating the Virgin American flight, he actually jumped off 407 feet and he actually got injured in the process. You just imagine, because the jump didn't go well. He banged himself into the wall, and I think the stabbing that he had was not really well, but he's very famous for doing that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that you have to do that for your startup, but these are all different ways in which you can use your personality and your interest to grow your brand, your startup. And he's also very good at writing. So he's very, if you go to LinkedIn and if you are a LinkedIn user, you can see that he writes a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. Okay? His show might have a lot of guest writers helping him, but still you can see that it's his personality that's in there. And his first biography was very famous. He has now released his second biography after the release of, I think after 20 years. So the first biography was released in 1999, I think, and the second one got released about 20 years and 19 years later. Okay? So, sorry I couldn't make this image bigger, but basically at the foundation you have competence. Okay, so I know some of you may have been thinking, okay, what is personal branding? Is it about promoting yourself? What about skills? And if I'm good at my job or if my product is good, isn't that enough? So surely you want to have competence. If I'm not good at a good doctor and I go about promoting myself as a great doctor and then I don't do a good job, then I have harmed myself more than if I had not promoted myself. Because when I promoted myself as a great doctor, now people's expectations have, increased. Then when they come to me and they see that, okay, he may not even be a doctor, that's not a good sign for me. So obviously you want to have competence, you want to have that technical skill set. That's one of the tenets of your foundation, okay, when you are building your personal brand. Commitment. Obviously you want to be committed to it. You don't want to be seen as the guy who has maybe one idea one day and another idea another day, or who maybe promotes himself and shares knowledge for a few days and then he vanishes. You want to be in it 100% of the time, obviously. Consciousness. So that basically means you want to be proactive, right? You want to think long term. You don't want to be reactive. Okay? Yeah.
All those combinations of efforts and a person's personality and ethics. So I don't think that's actually part of the core foundation. I agree with that.
So you think that they can be ethics, but they cannot be part of your personal brand? Is that what you're saying? Why not? Why can they be both things? So I can drink water from a cup, and I can drink water from a glass. Does that mean if I drink it from a glass, that's water? If I drink it from a cup, then it's not water? Yeah. Okay, well, we can agree to disagree. All respect to your feedback, obviously. Okay, so obviously your appearance is important as well. Obviously, we can, different people will have different opinion on what the appearance should be or how important it is. Volunteering is there, teams is there. Obviously, you want to be involved. You want to make sure that the words that you use are relevant. If my startup is, an AI-enabled property portal, and my energy and my focus and my words are focused on, something different all the time, then, I'm not doing a good service to make sure that I am targeted on my personal brand, right? If my personal brand is associated with a startup and I want to use my brand for my startup, I want to make sure that what I'm sharing is somewhat relevant to that. You can use writing, as we will discuss more. You can do public speaking, video marketing. Obviously, you have the chance to build partnerships and build relationships, and all these activities, the foundation of ethics that we have here, all of these other activities, they will help you to grow your personal brand so that you can be trusted, you can get the attention of your target audience, and you can grow your business. Okay? Everyone with me so far? Okay, so case study. Who knows MOV or brand vision? MOV, anyone? Okay, good. Would you like to tell us what it is? Just tell us a bit. Sorry? Yeah, that's true, but what is MOV? Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. So, as my friend here said, that Rand Fishman is the CEO of MOV. MOV is a software as a service company. They were initially focused on SEO alone, and then they, I think in 2013 or 2014, they rebranded from SEO.MOV.com to MOV.com. Okay, and they have a lot of features within their product which are focused on inbound marketing. Okay, mostly on inbound marketing, as far as I remember. Maybe some features on paid marketing as well, like pay-per-click, AdWords, and all that. Okay, so what they did was that his own personal brand was one of the key factors. Remember, I said one of the key factors. That's not the only factor, obviously. They do have a product, it works great. They do have a team, but his brand was a key part of helping MOV be taken to almost $38 million annual revenue and $120 million valuation. Okay, so we will see how he does that. First of all, one of the quotes from him, which I think is a key part of his strategy, and I really believe in it as well. Actually, it's part of inbound marketing as well. In a sense, the best way to sell something, don't sell anything. Okay, earn the awareness, respect, and trust of those who might buy. Okay, so like every day, because all the speaking that I do, all the podcasting that I do, all the columns that I write for Forbes or Opinion Post or Business.com, I get more leads than I can handle, and they come to me. I'm not calling someone. I'm not doing cold calling. I'm not, visiting someone. I get more leads, and these are all international clients, okay, from the US, despite the fact that I'm based in Pakistan and I'm a very small business enterprise. Okay, so they're coming to me because I've done all the hard work. Okay? I still have to do more, but I'm just sharing this. Okay, so he positioned himself as an expert within the content marketing and SEO industry. I mean, you can see that he lets his personality shine, like a very, I mean, you just want to click these videos when you see these images, right? Obviously, the content is great as well. Just being funny or quick or something is not going to help. Okay? And that's why their revenue has, in total it's like $38 million annually. And in 2016, they did the Series C round of funding, and they were valued at $120 million. Okay? So another case study, it's not so much about startups, but you can take inspiration from this example, and you can employ it to grow your personal brand and to grow your startup. Okay? So it was a Middle Eastern girl, Nina Mufle, and she used a very unique strategy to get interview calls from Airbnb, LinkedIn, and Uber when she moved to the Silicon Valley. Okay? So rather than just sending her CV on an email address which is maybe getting thousands of CVs already, what she did was that she actually created a website called Nina for Airbnb.com. Okay, it might still be there actually. And she basically put on her CV there, but it's more than just the CV. She actually created a report and shared how she can help Airbnb if they hire her. Okay? She built a website. I mean, just imagine that, just for them. So she mentioned how Airbnb is doing great, but they don't have a great presence in the Middle East. Then she mentioned how her Middle Eastern background can be of help to Airbnb to grow their business. Okay, and she just tweeted it out to Brian Jeske, right? One of the co-founders of Airbnb, and he said, "I'm reviewing it, blah blah blah." Okay, and the funny thing is that she did get interviews at Uber, LinkedIn, and Airbnb, but she didn't get a job at Uber, and I don't think she got a job offer from LinkedIn or Uber as well. But she's working at Upwork as a growth manager. So the point, I guess, the lesson here is all the shots that you take, you may not be successful in all those shots, but you can still learn something from that attempt and use it to get another opportunity or something. Okay, so you have to be innovative. I mean, if you are raising funding, you can maybe try something similar. I'm not saying exactly similar. Maybe you don't want to feed out an investor saying that they get a report, but these are some examples. So some statistics, I'm not going to go through all of them, but if you send me an email, I can share the presentation with you and you can take a look. But for instance, there is this study from Nielsen, and they say that 33% of buyers trust company messages, but 90% trust messages from someone, a person that they know. Okay, and there is actually another research. I have not included it here, but it was I think a psychology report that your brain, it cannot distinguish between an online relationship, okay, and an offline relationship. So if I know someone online, I have the same feelings for him or her as comparison to someone who I know offline. Okay, so even if I have not met someone, one of my team members, as I was telling my fellow speakers, she has been working with us for I think 4 years actually, not even 3 years. She has been working with us for 4 years, but I met her in person only last year because she lives in Abu Dhabi. So last year when I was speaking in Dubai, I asked her to visit, and we met in person for the first time. But it didn't feel like we are meeting for the first time because we had that relationship. And today you have those tools, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't wish your parents happy birthday in person and just send them a text or something. But I'm just saying that in today's economy, if you are using your personal brand to get the word out about your startup, the people who read your message, whether it's an article, a video, a podcast, they will feel like they know you. Okay, and you can use that. So it also has more reach and more engagement. If it's engagement, if it's an employee message as compared to a company message. Now, lead generated through employees' social media activity is 7 times more likely to convert as compared to other leads. So basically, if you are thinking, okay, I have a startup, but I'm not just starting out. I have some team members and I'm a very busy guy. So the point here is that you don't have to depend just on your own personal brand. You can encourage your team members, your employees, to use their personal brand and their personality as well. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, some steps in these are based on and very relevant to the personal branding pyramid as well. Who has heard of Ikigai? Ikigai. Okay, the same guy, and okay, you want to, okay. So Ikigai, I mean, there is a lot of confusion all the time. Some expert would say, follow your dreams and follow your passion and success will come. Some would say, oh no, you can't follow your dreams because if you are keen on becoming a poet, there is no money in becoming a poet. No one is going to pay you to hear your poems, right? So what do you do? Okay, so this is a paradigm where you want to make sure that what you want to do in your life, at your startup or something like that, has all these 4 qualities. Number 1, that you love it. Okay, that you like it. Number 2, that you are good at it. Okay, and if you are not good at it, I mean, learn a bit about it and you will figure out if you can be good at it. Okay. Number 3, what the world needs. Okay, if the world doesn't need more cracker chips or more mouses, which are very similar to the previous mouses, then maybe you should do that. Okay? The 4th quality that it has to meet is what you can be paid for. Because not everything that's out there, people want to pay for it. We use Facebook, but we don't pay for it, right? We use LinkedIn, but we don't pay for it, right? We use Google Maps, but we don't pay for it. So you want to figure out something which you love, but I love cricket, but I'm not good at it. Okay? I love movies, but I'm not good at making movies. Okay? So you want to be sure that you are in love with it, you love it, you enjoy it, you are good at it, the world needs it, and the world wants to pay for it. Okay? So that's step 1, in my opinion, when you are building a personal brand. If your personal brand doesn't meet these 4 qualities, then you will get bored after a few days or a few months of promoting your personal brand. Okay? So you want to make sure that what you are doing is something that you enjoy and you are good at it and the world needs it. So that's how I went into marketing from coding and programming. Because I realized that, okay, I love business more, and then I realized that, okay, I am actually somewhat good at sales and marketing and I enjoy it, and I can be better at it. And the world needs it and they are keen on paying for it. Okay? Just because you have an idea for an ad, a startup, doesn't mean the world wants it and they want to pay for it, or that you will be good at it, or that you will enjoy it. So you want to make sure that it meets all those criteria, because they will help you with the next steps. This one we can leave. Okay? You want to make sure that you know what the reciprocity principle is. Reciprocity principle is from psychology, and it's about making sure that before you ask someone for something, that you have given them something. Okay? Before you ask someone for a favor or something, you want to make sure that you have done them a favor. Okay? Because otherwise, or that you do it later on. Because otherwise, it's a one-way street. No one wants a one-way street. Even within your home, if you are not washing the dishes, your girlfriend or your parents, they will be upset with you, right? Or you are not taking out the trash or something like that. So you always want to make sure, and the reciprocity principle actually is that, if I can go a bit more in detail, is that when you do something nice for someone, even if it's a small thing, you do something nice for them, they feel like they owe it to you to do something nice for you as well. So what can you do something nice for someone online? You can read the article they wrote. You can, if they are asking for recommendations on what's the best gym in your area, you can give them recommendation on that, right? You can share your personal experience, right? If someone is looking on finding out how to use data better, right? That is something which Gates talk a lot about. So you see that they are talking about it and they are writing about it, for example, on Quora. How many of you know Quora.com? Quora.com? So it's a question and answer website, and we will talk a bit more about it, but there are a lot of people who are looking for recommendations, who are looking to get answers to their questions. So you answer it to them. If you are within data, you search for big data within Quora. If you are in AI, you go and search for AI within Quora. It's actually a traffic gold mine right now. I hope marketers won't mess it up, because marketers have a reputation of messing every new platform up. But right now it's really good. So like Gary Vee says, give, and then ask. Okay? So funny story, I came across like a video, and there was some guy who is like really good at making music, and he was like, someone asked him about, we have mentees, and he was like, yeah. He said, how was the experience? He was like, I had a new mentee, like a new student I was mentoring, and the very next day, not the very next day, but the very next month or something, the mentee reached out to the mentor, and he's like, you shot a new music video, but I'm not in it. What's the deal? Like the mentee was very angry that the mentor didn't give him a chance. It has to be the other way around. If you are a mentee and you are looking for a mentor, or you have a mentor, you want to make sure that you add value to their life before expecting too much from them. Okay? Because they are busy people, right? So, who has read Influence? Anyone who has read the book Influence? Very famous. Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. What? Well, you should read it today. You should buy it today. It's like really good. So, persuasion is about how you can convince someone. And it's not just about convincing someone to buy your product. It can be something else as well. To join hands with you, to be your partner. Okay, so I have a few minutes. I will try to be quick. So the 6 principles, the first one we talked about already, scarcity, right? So if you have built a SaaS platform, you don't want it to be, don't want it to be a free trial forever. You want it to make a 1 week trial, maybe 2 weeks trial, free trial, maybe 1 month trial. Something which is limited, okay? Because that's what makes people interested. That's the psychology, right? Authority. You want to be seen as the authority within your field, okay? You want to show your expertise. You don't want to just go directly to selling something, right? You want to show your expertise, whether it's by running webinars on your startups blog, whether it's by writing case studies there, whether it's by holding question and answer session on Quora or something, okay? Commitment and consistency, we talked about it already. Liking, you want to make sure that there is social proof. I mean, if I'm talking great things about myself all the time or my startup, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But if I have 4 testimonials in there, that's social proof. If someone else is saying, okay, I use this product, it was good, blah, blah, blah. You want to attach your brand to bigger brands. So, for instance, if you are a young startup, you don't want to go ahead and make everyone else your competitors. Maybe there are bigger companies in your target audience which are not your competitors, but you can partner with them. Okay? Or for example, like when I started writing, one of the reasons was that I can write for Forbes or Business.com or Virgin Startup or whatever, and I can build an authority there. I can use their bigger brand, okay? Because they already have the traffic, right? I am the new guy and I'm starting out, so rather than just writing on my own website, I can write for them as well. There is actually another case study which I didn't put in there. Buffer, a social media scheduling app. What they did was that for 9 months, they wrote about 150 articles on other people's blogs, and that got them to 100,000 customers within 9 months. Okay? Okay, just wait to skip these. Yeah, so you want to be everywhere, but start with one thing at a time. I mean, you can't, if you're a startup, you don't want to just, set up social media profiles, company pages on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or everywhere. Start with maybe 1 or 2, because otherwise you can't manage it. Later on, you can grow. Okay? Yeah, so this is how you can grow your personal brand and become an authority. And this is how you can get, different opportunities. ideal partners, team members, blah blah blah. These are some additional strategies. We talk just last thing, and then we wrap up. So you are creating the content, but you want to promote it as well. Okay. Most people, because maybe in 2008 there were fewer bloggers and a lot of people who wanted to read content. So at that time, if you would create a blog post, it would get tons of visitors. Now it's too many people who are creating blogs, and the number of people who are online is almost stagnant. Okay, especially in the US. So you want to make sure that you use these strategies, and some of these have been explained in our podcast and on our blog as well. Video outreach, news jacking, product giveaway. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. This is it, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Stefan. So up next, please welcome Mr. Charlie Chong from MOV. Please go.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Johnny, and I'm from Ipoh. Today we're going to talk about this favorite topic about money. Okay. What I'm going to talk about today is about the payment instrument that we talk about, money. E-wallet and e-money, what's the difference? We're going to talk about trends in the past, what happened in China that made it so big. It happened in Malaysia. What's the Malaysian landscape for people? Alright? So what's the buzz about? Okay, this is my motto, my brand, to be ahead and to stay ahead. Okay. What is money? We all know what is money. We use it so often, we forgot how to define it. Yes or no, ladies and gentlemen? We use it so often. Many definitions. So take the easiest one to understand. Money is a medium of exchange. Okay, has a stored value and it has a unit, that is IM or something. Okay, electronic money is the payment instrument that contains monetary value that is paid in advance. It has to be paid in advance by the user, by the user to the e-money issuer, and e-wallet is an application. I think some of you get confused. Let's put away this and then explain in more detail. Okay, we all know money. Okay, money exists in physical form. Cash exists in physical form. And where do you put your money? Where do you store your money? In your wallet or your purse. Okay, I don't know why they call it e-purse. Okay, and what is e-money? E-money, you take the physical money, take away the physical part. That's your e-money. It has stored and stored somewhere. And e-wallet is something like a physical wallet, but e-wallet stores your e-money and can house your credit card and debit card. Basically, if you have an app, most likely it's an e-wallet. So there's a difference between e-wallet and e-money. E-wallet stores your e-money. Sometimes it doesn't store e-money, it stores your credit card and debit card. I'm sure some of you have used that kind of app before. I'm sure this is the difference that we get. It's all governed by Bank Negara. E-money, you need license by Bank Negara. E-wallet, you don't need a license of Bank Negara. This is some digital payment evolution. It's fun. We all gone through this journey. I'm Gen X, by the way, so I've gone through this journey. You probably have gone through half it. Okay? I'm going to show you one nation now go through this evolution. Okay? Of course, before that, there were barters, there were, whatnot that we had from 1970. We all knew the introduction of magnetic stripe charge. It was MX that comes in first at the time. My dad, once we use it, we can't use it because we only hit certain levels to use it. Then there was the magnetic stripe credit card, which we all felt so much in love. But I don't know whether now is it still stripe. So that's thing in the past. Then came the chip-based card. Then came the debit card. Then came the contactless card. And, do this. PIN and keypad, and now the e-wallet. It has grown. Okay. I form memories of some of them. I remember contactless cards which I refused to use due to security reasons. I actually took up my wallet and tried and see whether, someone can scan through my wallet or not. Thankfully, it doesn't, because my wallet got many other cards, so it doesn't go through. I'm going to talk a little bit about payment instruments, because e-money is a payment instrument. And I'm going to talk to you why people use them and continue to use them. And you decipher yourself whether e-money is going to be the trend of the future. Cash. Okay, convenience. People tell me e-wallet is convenient. Then I ask certain people, I like to use cash because it's also convenient. So I would like to stress that convenience is relative to any of these users. You ask a cash, people who use cash. Why you use cash? Convenient, general acceptance. Right or not? Why you use cash? I'm used to it. Why do you use cash? If you ask a lot of technophobics, it's more secure. I feel more secure with cash. I sit with cash and with my partner, I would say. I don't do that, I don't have much cash with me. Check. Also convenient, you ask the businessman, the very old-fashioned way, why do you like to use check? Convenient for large amount of sum, I understand. Then I ask this very old businessman from Kedah, Mr. So and so, why do you use check? I like to use check because I can delay payment for 3 days. Oh. Then I asked him, Mr. So and so, why not you give payment after 3 days? Then he said, oh Johnny, you give me a good idea, now I can delay payment for 6 days, I wait for 3 days, then you should have 6 days. Very, very funny. Of course, credit card, people who use credit card like me, and Gen X, are very good with credit card, because when I applied my first credit card, there was some sentiment to it. I got a job, I bought a credit card, and I still hold the credit card for 20 years. Maybe give me a slightly higher credit rate. We use credit card because it gives us, when I first started out, I needed that credit. Then, when I pay off every month, I got points. That's why I use credit card. It's convenient to me, it's generally accepted. Okay? And why people use e-wallet? Anyone here uses e-wallet? You do? Why do you use e-wallet? You don't know, so it's convenient to you. Safety. I'm going to talk about that, how China got so big about safety. Generally, people like to use e-wallet in Malaysian perspective because of the promotions. So many promotions. So many fighting for that space. This brand give you this you shit, get that That's what drives the trend. Okay, a little bit more. Is there a plot by someone to go towards e-payment? Actually, there is. It's a cashless society, and this has been rooted by Bank Negara, not yesterday, but more than 10 years ago. Okay, they always want a cashless society. Why? To accelerate the country's migration to electronic payment. For 2 reasons: cost savings and increased efficiency. Cost savings, why? If you take out the cash on your, the point of yours, I think, I don't know, I have not asked back, but I think I heard that it means that point is more expensive than the point itself. So it's expensive. So money circulation is very expensive. Checks are expensive to process. So it's not cost saving. And for a lot of merchants who owns a shop here, imagine you own a shop, handling cash can be so expensive. You need to change your points and it costs you. And worst of all, if your money gets lost, that's expensive. Okay, it's not cost saving. And it's efficient. E-payment are more transparent. Every time you make payment, whether it's credit card, or online, or even e-money, it's information trade. Because whatever you do, they can track you, they know what you buy and all that. Okay? And for people who do data, data analysis like them, James over here, they can use the information if they want. They can see your spending pattern and maybe analyze the spending pattern and then give you a credit card. Now, credit card pre-approved, take it and use it. And of course, if you reduce a lot of money in circulation, you will reduce fake money and also limit money laundering. So that is a plot towards this. Let's have some fun facts. Okay? As of yesterday, I checked in bank address a few days ago. There are 39 e-money issuers in Malaysia. 39. So many. Those that you talk about or learn about or use maybe people like Boost, Touch and Go. Touch and Go has 2 e-money licenses. I don't know whether you know that. The old card and now the digital form. Okay? There are 5 banks issuing e-money. Bank of China, CMB, Maybank, ING. IP88 also has an e-wallet license, but we don't use it on a B2B. We can white label to any company. Okay? What's the buzz about? Only Malaysia or China. Actually, if you go around the region, e-money is everywhere. It's a wave that we cannot avoid. It's going everywhere, and it may be even more advanced than Malaysian countries, emerging countries like, for example, Cambodia. They are hot in Singapore, they are hot in Indonesia, they are hot in Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Cambodia, and anywhere. I've not used all these things. It's just too many. I don't know whether I can play this or not. Are we linked to the network? No. Never mind. I just want to show how big it is in China. I'm sure you're aware that e-wallet is so big in China. This actually shows you if you can you live without cash in China. Answer is yes. You can live many days without cash in China, just using e-wallet. Their pasar malam are all e-wallets, their transportation are all e-wallets. Malaysia, you're not there yet. You're still very, very cash-based. The $1 million question is, how did it get so big? How did it get so big? We all know, a lot of people generally know that their credit card was underserved at the market. But just credit card underserved can it be so big? What actually happened? E-wallet in China, 45% of the population use e-wallet. That's huge. That's very, very huge. And you only need 2 e-wallets, Alipay and WeChat Pay. One is very linked to e-commerce, the other linked to social media. So one is merchant-based, the other one is customer-based. China has 63.5% of the world's users for mobile payment, more than anyone anywhere in the world. How did it get so big? How did it really get so big? The skip is definitely. They didn't go through this. Straight away, mobile society. How did it get so? This is a slide that I've did a bit of research. It's about a trust issue. Back in 2000, at the dawn of e-commerce, and when China did not have so much credit card was being served, there was a boom in e-commerce. So when there's a boom in e-commerce, how do you pay? If you don't have a credit card or I don't trust a credit card to put online at that time, so what do you pay? You choose cash on delivery, isn't it? How many merchants can do cash on delivery? It's so cumbersome. So they have to think of something. They have to think of an instrument in between. There's a need for mobile payment where money paid by customer when placing orders will be transferred to an escrow account. Someone will hold. That's when Alibaba flew. So there was a need. E-commerce is getting so big. People have trust issue. They need payment and this help. Alibaba. Okay? And of course, Alibaba is in, and then also WeChat also in. There was a big push by big players, big pay and deep pockets. That too very, very big for them. Can it happen in Malaysia? Yet to see. So it's heavily promoted by the strongest digital players in China, Alibaba and WeChat. Of course, at that time, much use of phones. There was Huawei, there were so many Chinese phones, they were so good and so cheap. So they have their first mobile society, and that's why mobile payment became so big. And last, it's a very funny case study. Number 4, WeChat was introducing Angpao. In a lot of Chinese society, Angpao is a very, very cultural thing. Imagine that they launched this, and then everybody wants to receive Angpao. If you definitely go for an eye for this WeChat Pay. If I want to give you Angpao, Do you want to have that wallet? You do. So that's good. Okay, I don't know why. I do not know whether you can replicate it here in Malaysia, but that in some cases they say that because of this compound. So that made China very, very big. So you have to think whether this is relevant to other parts of the world. It is not, it is definitely different. Malaysia, so many of them. I'm not going to talk each and every one of them. They got their pros and cons. Some are e-money, some are e-wallet, some are e-wallet but say they are not e-wallet, some are not e-wallet, and some digital wallet. They define so many ways. I also confused. Some of the best. So you know definitely the big leaders. War is like Infinity War, man. So many fighting about who will win at the end of the day. 39, ladies and gentlemen, there are 39 contenders here. Wow, so many e-payments, so many e-wallets, so many terminals. If you own a shop, also cluttered by business. Even Marie Kondo can clean it up. Moving forward, there is a need to consolidate this. I'm sure a lot of building premises or business owners want a unified terminal. So this is very important. Because as you do business, there are two types of people. People who adopt all this and people who just say, hey, I don't need this e-wallet. I think you do not know when it will come. So if you come, there's so many people to choose. So there are solutions for unified terminals. Okay, if you want to know more than my colleague, then maybe she can help you more. Okay, this is Bank Negara's data. Okay, I fall asleep, so many data that includes some slides for you. E-money transaction is actually going up. Obviously, it's high because it's micro payment. It's very, very small. Okay, you use touch and go, use highway, these are all e-money. You have other payment instruments like credit card, debit card, charge card, transaction is smaller. Okay? But if you look at value, then e-money is very small, which is only 11% of value. Then come charge card 12%, then come debit card at 40%, credit card 68%. Now you know this is the difference between us and China. This is the difference between China and the United States. This is the difference between China and Singapore. We are here. Okay. We'll talk about pros and cons. And e-money, the transaction value, of course, is still very small. And if it's small, credit card is still the king. Is credit card the king? I heard cash is still king, So, who will win in the infinity war of e-wallet? I can't say who will win because they are all our partners of IP. But let you think based on what we think that the criteria to get the top. It is who has the most sustainable application. What it means by sustainable application. If you have an e-wallet that is linked to an application that you cannot live without, for example, if you use the highway, you must have. That's sustainable. I cannot mention it, sorry. If you have, there's one app that you cannot live without. So these are sustainable applications. Okay, it can be more also. There's a more that has an e-wallet app as well. So, and who has the biggest user customer base? The one with the biggest user customer may not be enough. We have a lot of user customer base, but only driven by promotion. But that is still there. You have customer base, you are also likely to be. Third one, you have the widest reach of merchants everywhere. But if you have a big customer base, merchants will follow that is true. Fourth one, who has the deepest pocket to burn, to spend money? So all this, you see the meaning of e-wallet. Ladies and gentlemen, merging of all this may come because right now Bank Negara is going to set a limit. I do not know when, where each e-wallet must have 500,000 users, active users in 6 months. I think when that kicks in, it will some consolidation will happen. Okay, you may not see mine, you will see mergers. Okay. Next. Why many slides? Because this is my last slide. Will e-wallet thrive in the Malaysian payment landscape? There are two camps here. When I interview a lot of people, I also like to learn about this. There are always two camps here, the skeptics and the optimists. So you see that you can be either of the camp. I am also some of the camp in this camp. Let's talk about the skeptics. Skeptics will say Malaysia is different from China. Granted, Malaysia already had well-served credit card, 10 million credit card, and debit card for 2 million credit card. And some users do not like to store in advance, don't like to put in a store and like pay in advance. So they say that, nah, e-wallet will not fly. When you look at the credit card, what's the Malaysian population at the moment? Anyone know? 30 million. 30 million. Credit card, 10 million. 10. You see, 1/3 of Malaysian have credit card, what happens to the other 2/3? It may be old, but then, how many cards do you own? How many cards do you own, Jim? More than 8. 10 million own more than 8 or so, you divide by 8, how many active users? Not many people do credit card. Okay. But still, yes, people like me, I will not change credit card because it's something that I have already. Pay in advance. This is something very true. When I worked with Touch and Go many years ago, we have difficulty changing, queuing up to pay because they do not want to pay in advance. This may be true, but is this changing? Because they are millennials and Gen Z or Gen ABC after that, instead of changing. Then the camp optimist. You gave very good factors not just on Gen Y, Gen Z and millennials. I'm Gen X, so I did not fall into this category. But 45 of Malaysians are Gen X and Gen Y. World average is 39. Malaysia, according to AC Nielsen, has more millennials and Gen Z than the world average. There are a lot of young people. And young people think very different. They eat, sleep, eat, not bola, but phone. Correct? Everything phone. So, if you have phone, then maybe they are more attuned or more skilled to use it for our people. When I don't have, when I'm young, I want to apply credit card, I have to wait to get a job until I get a good salary, then I apply credit card. If you want to apply e-wallet, do you need those documents? Okay, when I'm not working, you probably own an e-wallet first before I credit card. So when you start using it, it becomes habitual. When you grow, you continue the habit. So that's what the optimists are saying. And then big push by e-money issuers, all the promotions that you have, all the shake, get these, use e-wallet, get points and all this. When you use credit card, also got cash on have. But then, right now, e-money tends to, they are the forefront of promotion. And there are some people, I have not tried it before, they use their credit card to top up. To top up the e-money, 8 points on the credit card and 8 points on the e-money, and then they use that points somewhere else along. Have you tried that? Try it. I don't know whether it still works or not, but don't tell me that I will. And that is the government plot to an agenda for cashless society. And lastly, of course, the stake of disability. Not everyone can apply for credit card. So I let you be the judge. If you are a skeptic, I respect that. If you are an optimist, I also respect that. So that's the e-money licensing issue. So there are a few things I think the speakers here would agree with me that you can't avoid in life. People in Gen X like me will see that old age cannot avoid. Okay? Paying taxes, maybe sometimes can avoid, but better not to, better to pay, isn't it? Digital disruption is something that we cannot avoid. Big data analytics, digital marketing. When I was in uni, this was something which is unheard of. It's very new. E-money, e-wallets, these are all unheard of. So, $1 million question. You either let others disrupt you or in business, or you disrupt others. There's no other way. So that's all my presentation today. A bit of fun, right, on e-money. Thank you. But my last slide. Today about my company. We are the leading payment gateway for Malaysia. We have about 200 over staff. We are regional player. We have offices in Singapore, Cambodia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand. And if you need any payment solution or have online business that are yet to be connected to any payment gateway, then myself and my colleague will be at the back. We are 51% owned by Entity Data, Japanese company. Thank you. I'm Johnny Chong. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. John. So, okay, so I would like to open the floor for some questions time. So, if you have any questions that you want to ask for the speakers, please raise your hand. I'll pass the mic to you.
Hello. How do you see about the trade now, right, in the future, and will it affect IP?
Thank you. Okay, thank you. May I have your name?
My name is PM Wong, Prime Minister Wong.
Oh, Prime Minister Wong, where are you from?
From King's Station.
Oh, in Space. Do it now is a mode of money transfer. Okay, basically, if you use Do It Now, you can transfer money recognized by your either handphone or also your identity card. So it's a way of transfer. So again, for technophobics, they probably slow the dog. But I think, when it comes to younger generation, where mobile society is on, this may work. So whether you affect IP or not, I don't think so. We can work towards that. It's just a mode of transfer. We are gateway. We can use it, as a gateway for future. We can work with them as well. So I don't think it's something that is completely different. So, but whether Do It Now works or not, it's also a question. But if you ask me, looking at how big the mobile society is, it may work.
Thank you. Any questions? Please raise your hand.
Hi. You mentioned on the slides how there are for all the e-wallets and e-money companies. They are different companies, right? So